What's up? What's up? Again, it is Hutch Unfiltered, man. Hey, today I'm talking about something that needs to be talked about. It's honesty between men and women. Yeah, and why it's so hard. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure this out. And why people avoid it. And what it does to a relationship and what it's been doing to relationships, both modern and past relationships. So, like, the conclusion here is, like, men and women, they both lie. And they lie for different reasons, of course. Some people say men lie to just to convince a woman and make her feel a certain way in order to get access or to avoid losing access. So it's like for both getting into a situation with a chick and also to avoid a chick breaking it off. And then women lie as well too, usually by omission. Some will lie straight out to you and avoid judgment or losing options. So they like to keep their options open. And I'll tell you one thing, like, as a guy, like, I got a bias, of course, though. One thing I'll say for both men and women, if you are being deceptive or lying or doing, underhanded stuff with somebody in the beginning, and you end up getting in a relationship with that person, that the echo of that initial deception will continue to plague you for the rest of that relationship in some form or fashion. I'm not saying that it will necessarily kill your relationship, but you will see echoes of that deception pop up over and over and over again in your relationship. And it's something you're going to have to deal with. So, and there's some real consequences to that. And, I think a lot of times women are real bad at that. I mean, guys are bad at that too, man, dude. On the guy side, man, I knew a lot of guys that were players, or they called themselves players. And here's the one thing I'll say about that too. If you are lying to a woman in order to get access to her and calling that game, that ain't game, man. That's just being a fuckboy. That's being deceptive. That's being kind of a scumbag. So that's not really what we're talking about. You're trying to control the situation through deception, and that's what it comes down to. It's like, when you end up lying, and the problem is that I think people are lying because it feels dangerous. It feels like if you say what you actually want, you might not get what you actually want. And so people try to play it safe for themselves, not for the other person that they're dealing with, but for themselves. And here's the thing, man. For real, if you want to build something that's real, I mean, honesty is the only thing that builds it. You can't build it on other stuff. Eventually, you got to come down to the truth. The truth is the thing that's gonna help build that relationship. Because once the truth comes out, a lot of times you see people break up. You lose access because initially, what got you in there is not what's going to keep you in there if you came out, lying. So, when men and women stop lying and protect themselves, and they finally, start being brave enough to tell the truth, you'll be surprised at what you could actually get access to. So, honesty doesn't scare the right person away. It actually filters out a lot of the wrong people. So, if you're honest about what you're trying to do, like, say, if you want to say if you just want to smash, man, you'd be surprised how often that works. Like, hey, man, I just want to smash. And for women too, like, if you're stringing a guy along and you really don't want to deal with him, but you'll deal with him for that moment, sometimes you got to tell him that, like, hey, look, we can hook up tonight, but after this, we'll probably go our separate ways. A lot of guys are down for that. You know what I'm saying? And nowadays, man, guys are even down for even like, hey, look, I'm only with you for your money. They'll be like, well, I'm only with you for your body. You know, so y'all can make an arrangement. You'll be surprised how that works. I'm not encouraging the tricking or the, sugaring. I'm not encouraging that. But you'd be surprised that you could probably get some of that stuff that you want. But at the end of the day, honesty isn't the risk. It's really dishonesty is. Dishonesty is going to put you more at risk than being honest about getting into an encounter with somebody that you're interested in. Because, you might be interested in it, but if they're not interested in your situation, it's not really going to matter anyway. So eventually it's going to come out. Eventually, you're going to see some fallout. It could cause a lot of heartache, pain. It could cause a breakup. Sometimes it could cause, if you got married, it could cause divorces. So, and that's what happens, man. And a lot of relationships fall apart not because the people are bad, but because they were never honest enough to build something real. So, hey, here's the part of the video that I'm going to ask your opinion. Do you think people should be honest about their situations? Like, maybe you got a baby mama, maybe you got some kids, maybe you got a baby daddy, maybe you in a situation, maybe something else is going on in your life, you think people should be honest about what they want in a relationship and what situation they got going on, and tell me about game. Is it game when you're lying? Is that game, or is that part of the game? The lying and the BS, right? And women, like, is it fair? Is it fair to omit, what you're doing out in these streets? Like, is it fair to admit that you might be talking to other guys that may know each other, but you're still jacking around with both of them? Is that all fair, or should women be honest about that as well too? And just let me know what's going on. A lot of topics there. Love to hear you. So, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.